Good morning, everyone. Oh, I've got these little eyebally things in my eyes. um, Hi. I am going to take a pause on my Empath Summer series to talk about grief today. And in full transparency, like I had a super hard um, week last week. Hi, Miss Kate. Had a feeling you'd be here today. Um, so my son Jack, his birthday was on Friday, and he would have been 13. And it's been 4.5 years since he died, and not a day goes by where I don't think about him. I don't miss him, and it's like I just wish that he was still here in physical form. And so, um, 4.5 years later, I still, every time I talk about him, my eyes still fill up with tears and my voice still trembles, and that's just the way it is. I remember telling somebody once, like, anytime I'm going to be talking about Jack, I'm going to start to well up. It just comes with the territory, and it is just what it is. And so, but I wanted to share with you guys because there are so many lessons in grief, and a lot of people in this tribe have lost loved ones, and it's not just death that I'm talking about. It is other forms of grief as well, like a divorce and breakup and whatever. But specifically, I did want to talk about death because while there is always loss and, death and rebirth, it's different when it's a divorce or a breakup because that person is still physically around, right? And so, I have learned that over the years, grief is love, period, end of story. Because I will never stop grieving Jack because I'll never stop loving him. And I have always likened grief to an ocean. And so, some days there are going to be tsunamis, like Wednesday last week and Friday on his birthday, where, I am just bowled over by it and it's just leaving me on the bathroom floor, and so and those I now recognize happen. They definitely happen twice a year, on his birthday and on his anniversary. And then it's a tsunami. You just don't know when it's going to hit. So then every once in a while, it'll just come out of left field. And then there are going to be other days where I just feel the waves, and so, and then there are other days where I'm just bobbing in the ocean and floating, but I am always going to be in this ocean of grief. And so can I get like a thumbs up or a high five or something if you guys know what I'm talking about? And so I've learned to recognize that around the week before either his birthday or anniversary specifically, I start to feel like the pull out of the ocean, kind of like when there's going to be a big wave, the ocean literally pulls out, and if you've watched any footage of a tsunami, you see that tide recedes and goes way out, and it's a super, super, super low tide before the wave crashes. And so I found that like about a week before, I feel that pull out, and I now know and understand what that means. And so it's about honoring that ocean and letting it take me where I need to go. And because of this, I have learned to totally be in the present moment. It's literally like getting sucked out by an undertow. And The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, if you guys have not read that book, go get it, go listen to it, whatever. But it has been such a great resource, because when my mind wanders to the past, I'm suffering. And when my mind wanders to the future, I'm suffering, because, I actually I saw all of his little buddies on Friday, because they have an annual little birthday party for him. And, they're all like, their voices are changing, and they're all almost as tall as me. And it's always this, bizarre experience, because I have to go future trip to imagine what Jack would be like now. And so when I'm in those moments, I find that my suffering is intensified, and that the more that I could be in my present space, the more ease I could have with it. And so, the other thing that I wanted to mention was that grief lives in the heart chakra, and so does unconditional love. And I love you too, Kate. We are connected, and I know that they are together on that other side for sure, building robots. And so the heart chakra is also the chakra of unconditional love, both giving and receiving. And so grief is always going to be living in the heart chakra, because that's just where it is. It's all connected to the heart and love. And so I give myself extra grace and love during this time, because my heart is extra tender at this time. And so, in life, it's life is a series of deaths and rebirths, and sometimes they're literal, like the one I'm talking about, and sometimes they're figurative, right? And, even with COVID, we're going through a death process where the life that we once had is no longer exists, and that a grief process has to happen in order for a rebirth to happen. And so any transition, whether it is death or COVID or a divorce or a breakup or what have you, transitions are always messy and always painful. And so, what I really want to share with you guys is, when you're going through a life transition, just give yourself some grace and be patient and kind with yourself, and allow yourself to receive love in whatever form that it takes, and be open to that, because that was one of the byproduct gifts, if you will. And I always put gifts in air quotes, because it's hard to see the gifts when you have a child that died. But one of the gifts is learning how to receive love from other people. And still to this day, I get little whale presents and flowers and whatever else on my doorstep during these times. And it is about receiving that love from other people, which is very hard for women to do, because we've been conditioned to give. And so allow yourself to receive that kindness, and give yourself that kindness and that patience when you're going through a death and rebirth process. And and for the ones who have lost their loved ones, always look for signs. Always, because we are always connected to our people, and we're all energy. I mean, that's just basic science, and it's we're solid, and we're liquid, and we're gas. Quite honestly, some more gassy than others, but there is that invisible energy, right? Which is the gas that I'm talking about, not just, 7-year-old humor here, which I feel is Jack coming through right now, but it's learning how to continue having a relationship with your loved one, even though they're no longer in physical form, and talking with them and journaling with them and meditating with them. Last week, I went to my favorite place, and I encourage you guys to do this, especially if you've lost a loved one, that close your eyes and sit and just imagine your favorite place in the world, whether it's a forest or a beach or wherever, someplace in your imagination, and meet your person there and hug them and feel them and smell them and hear them laugh and feel the hug and just be there with them, because it's a really magical experience. And I would love to hear if you do that. So please go and do that and post about it, because it's pretty fucking awesome. Okay, that is what I wanted to share today. I hope this was helpful for you guys. And I will be back again next week, continuing my series on Empath Summer. Okay. Mwah. Love you guys. Bye.